Several minutes of commercial-free football starts now. Here are the Purple Mortgage Guys.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Purple Mortgage Guys. We got Tanner, Goose, and myself, Brent. Three guys that we do home loans by trade, but we love talking Vikings football, even in the dead of summer, I guess, for Minnesota Vikings football. It's June. Mini camps are going on. We got training camp starting next month in July. And guys, we thought we would hit a little bit on some position groups that we want to keep an eye on. Maybe we've got some concerns. Draft maybe didn't play out how we wanted, or we feel we're a little light on depth, what that position group looks like. And then also one that we're just really excited about. So Goose, I'm going to start with you on this one. Give me the position group that maybe you're a little bit concerned with, or you want to keep your eye on going into training camp next month.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit, I think, the easy way out here and also be broad and just say secondary. I'm going to tackle that safety and corner position altogether. Brent, you talked a little bit in one of our shorts that there's a lot of word out there that Lewisine looks healthy and his recovery is going great. I was really excited about Lewisine, although it was maybe one game that I was watching in the national championship. Saw him pop, texted one of my good high school buddies who's a Georgia Bulldogs fan and from Georgia. Was like, who is this 16 guy? He is all over the field. And didn't even know he was draft eligible. And when the Vikings picked him, I was like, hey, that's the guy that I was watching in the national championship all over the field. So I was really excited about him. I think the thing with Lewis is he could be healthy and maybe he's not a good player. So that's a big question mark. I think we need to upgrade over Cam Bynum. Harrison's a year older. The safety position is definitely a concern. Cornerback, I think we still need more depth. With the injury history, I'm excited about the potential pieces. I was a big fan of Caleb Evans when he played as a rookie who was a mid-round pick in a position that it seems like it normally takes a long time to kind of catch on to the game. Andrew Booth, I'm trying to chalk it up as just a poor scheme fit in a rookie year and hope some of that college tape comes back. I'm really excited about Murphy, but you can't have one good corner in the league. They just target the other guy. And so I think between question marks talent-wise and question marks with injury history, there's a lot that needs to be done there. Maybe they're waiting to free up some space with Delvin to address that. So it's definitely addressable, but definitely my biggest area of concern for the team.
So Goose is going to go secondary. Tanner, do you agree with that, or do you got another area that you're concerned with?
I think you could throw a dart at the wall full of defensive positions, and whatever it lands on, you could probably nail it.
Okay.
Biggest area of concern. But if you're going to make me pick one position group, I'm actually going to say linebacker. Because you have Jordan Hicks, who's in his 30s, aging on the down half of his career. And then you have nobody, an unproven group. Brian Asamoah, obviously coming back for his second year here now. Third-round pick from last year. Completely unproven. Obviously, there's a lot of potential there, and I think he could be a solid player, but we have no idea. And then after him, I think all those guys are all question marks to even make the team. Like, you don't even have a solid fill-in at that point. Like,
what about your favorite backup, Troy Dye?
The long snapper?
Yeah.
The backup long snapper? He's a turd.
I was going to go with linebacker as well, Tanner. That was the one I was picking. So Tanner's so disgusted with our linebackers, he cut out there for a second. I would say that would be my biggest area too, because you have no proven starters there other than an aging Hicks. So we'll see what happens. I think your comment there about throwing a dart at the wall and seeing what position you land on, probably pretty accurate. I don't think we have any concerns on the offensive side of the ball, at least that we know of. But the defensive side, linebacker jumps out at me. So I guess we'll see what happens there.
To
Guys,
add
what
to your
about-
guys' thoughts quick, we didn't even really hit edge, which I would consider the linebacking group if we're going to look at a lot of 3-4. Daniil's still a big question mark on, is he going to play? Is he going to play at his current number? Are we going to be able to work something out? Is Davenport going to play more edge? Is he going to play kind of on the outside of the D line? There's definitely a lot of question marks there. So that was definitely a close second for me. And then one thing as like an honorable mention that I think is under the radar is Brian O'Neill. Like that's a tough injury to come back on. And as I always get nervous when the Vikings get praise somewhere or maybe too much praise, and seeing that it's like Vikings have the second best offensive tackle tandem in the league and their O-line is fixed, and it's like Bradbury's still a little guy who's been bullied around a few times. Evan Ingram's stepping on toes. O'Neill's coming off of a terrible injury. Like, it seems pretty solid, and I think the potential is through the roof. The same group of guys playing a second year in a row, but that's kind of I think a sneaky position group to watch out for.
Yeah, definitely. I think we take it for granted because last year wasn't a complete train wreck, other than the toe stepping and a few bad games there from a few guys. But let's go on the flip side. Let's drink the Kool-Aid. I don't know what Tanner's got in his glass tonight, or Goose, but let's drink some Kool-Aid. And who are we really excited about? What position group? And I feel like I know the obvious answer there, but I'm going to let Tanner go first. You can take the obvious answer if you want.
I'll go last.
Who are you excited for, Tanner? Where's the most optimism?
I'm going to say the receiving core.
That would be the obvious.
And JJ is the best receiver in the league. And then I think, obviously I'm a pretty big Jordan Addison fan, so I'm excited to see what kind of potential he puts up in his rookie year. And I think KJ Osborne is a solid number 3 receiver. And then it sounds like already, I know we talked a little bit before the show, that Jalen Naylor is already having some pretty good showings here in these workouts in the summer. So excited to see him going into camp as well. I do think those are like 4 solid guys. I would really like to see Jalen Naylor take the Jalen Reagor position from him as like wide receiver 4 potentially. And then I could see like wide receiver 5 like being a sneaky draft pick somewhere. I feel like there's a lot of like potential and talent based off like highlight tape that I saw post draft. So I could see somebody else coming in to grab that 5 spot. So I think there's a lot of like really young potential for the first time in a long time in our receiving core.
I would 100% agree with that. You made a lot of good points, so I'm just going to say ditto to that. I would also say watching that backup QB spot to see how that evolves, and if we feel like we hit on a guy in Hall, or if maybe he's a year or 2 away. Just seeing how that plays out. I think that's always fun. Quarterback position is always fun for the fans like us to see how that unfolds. But Goose, what do you got?
Brent, I thought the quarterback position was going to be one that I could add something new. So
go for it.
You got me there. I think I'm on the record a couple times thinking or saying that I think this is going to be Kirk's best season as a pro. It's not very often that he's gotten to play in the same system 2 years in a row, the same O-line 2 years in a row. Tons of talent around him, an offensive play caller at head coach. He's just, if this season doesn't work for Kirk, it's not going to. So I think Kirk's going to have the best season of his career. I love Nick Mullins as a backup, and I'm super intrigued with our draft pick. And so I just think that from 1 to 3, and I do think we're going to have to find a way to keep 3 on the roster and not lose them, that it's going to be a really deep position of guys who stay healthy and I think have a lot of promise. And you've got 2 guys that have proven it for a long time, and you've got a guy who seems like he's got all the character in the world and some tools to kind of be a fun quarterback in the league.
I think it's going to be a super fun training camp this year, watching those battles for Depth at wide receiver. We already know who's going to take the top couple of spots. Depth at QB. Kirk, like you said, he's got everything in the world to play for. Probably his last big contract. If we don't get the best version of Kirk Cousins in 2023, something really went wrong from what we're all thinking is going to happen. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it could be one of the more fun training camps to watch play out. And concerns on one side of the ball, optimism on the other. And, just to keep it interesting, we always have questions at kicker. So I think it'll be a fun one. I want to hear from our viewers, though. We've got Bob out there. We probably got Judy out there. Any others that want to participate? What are you most excited about for 2023 going into the summer months here? And then where are you concerned? Is it the same as what we're thinking, or is there something maybe we take for granted that you guys think is an issue? Throw it in the comments. If you've not yet subscribed and you're watching us so far, go ahead and subscribe. Try to get on here weekly in the summer months, and then a little bit more often during the season. Love to have more followers, more subscribers. And guys, it's the off season for the Vikings, but it's regular season if you're in the home loan business, and busy time of year. So anyone out there wants to talk about a home loan, Goose or Tanner would be the ones to hit up. They'd love to help you out with that, and talk a little Vikings football along the way. So hope everybody has a great rest of your week, and we'll be back again soon.